recording. It is the 17th of July. This is Rabbi Levitt. This is Gemora.
Okay. So refuah shlema.
Thank you so much.
Recovery to the eye. Bezrat Hashem. Va'er einenu. B'sorash secha. Hashem. Illuminate our eyes with your Torah.
Man.
So I said an interesting prayer before I went in for surgery.
Yeah.
I said, Hashem, ein mazel b'Yisrael. So therefore, please protect me from any bad effects because it's the 3 weeks.
Oh, they've been talking about that on the hotline.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, they're telling all sorts of stories about how people had saw tremendous chesed and rachamim from Hashem during the 3 weeks, dafka.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I certainly qualify. The surgery went very, very well.
Good.
I have to give Hashem thanks for answering my prayers.
Very good. Bezrat Hashem. Okay. So, yes, we're in the middle of this long Rashi over here. And to tell you the truth, I have no recollection of what he said over here because when was the last time we saw this Rashi? Was on Yom Hamishi of last week. So it's been Friday, Shabbos, and Sunday, 3 days without seeing this Rashi, and so let's just maybe we should take a look at the Rashi from the beginning, and this is on Kuf Yud Beis Amud Aleph, 112a, and it's the last Rashi, long Rashi on the page. Dibur Maskal Haisa Para She'ula Loi Pavcha B'Shabbos. He's Potter.
112A2?
A3.
A3, right? Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's the Rashi.
Yeah.
Sixth long line in the bottom.
But probably on the appropriate page, you'll have. We're hoping that there's going to be a note in Art Scroll that's going to synopsize this Rashi and so that we can make sure that we got the general idea when we're finished. Okay.
Okay, so that would be A3. Lots of notes with Rashi references here.
Yeah, because that's the okay. Okay, so let's see it again.
Okay, let's start this Rashi. We're up to the one that says Hainu Parav She'ula. That's the one you want, right?
Yeah.
Hainu Parav She'ula is the bar cow. The Tavchu b'Shabbos, and he shechs it on Shabbos. He butter. And now Rashi's adding what he's putter from is min hakol of everything. The low omrian that we don't say mishat she'ela mechayev, that he's chayev from the time of the borrowing. Akran of the pasuk, the comma, and it's standing the reshutah, and it's standing in his domain. Afilo l'malach hamavas, even according to the angel of death. Oh, that whatever that's got to do with this. Ella rather b'shat tvicha, rather at the time of the slaughtering, who we're talking about. The gazela, that it was stolen. The Isur Shabbat, the Geneva, Ba'in Kachad. Couldn't the Isur of doing it on Shabbos and the theft come at the same time?
Just to be against that.
The Niftar Mina Karen, and he's putter from paying the Karen Mishum de Kamle the Rabbanine, because of the principle of Kamle the Rabbanine, which means you get the greater penalty. And since the greater penalty is what being you broke Shabbos, you'd be liable Misa for doing it on Shabbos. So therefore, you don't have to worry about the monetary penalty. And he's putter from that at all, totally. I guess once you putter from the monetary penalty of even the Karen, then of course you putter all the other things down the line, the Kefil and the Arba of Chamesh. Aval Shoel, but here with a Barwa,
Knasa, did you do Knasa Leka?
I know I skipped the line, sorry. The Knasa Leka, and there's no fine involved. That's what I said. There's no fine because there's no Karen. The Ha Ain Kefil, there's no date Kefil on it. The low Arba for Chamesh, and there's no 4 and 5 on it. Ella the Ganav, only the theft itself. Shiganav, maybe, but you only have a thief when you steal it from the house of the owner, or a shomer chinam, or with a unpaid watchman. You're doing the favor. It's not a borrower. You did unpaid watchman. Haba that comes with pata, that he comes to putter at small. He could putter himself the tanis geneva with a claim of theft on it. About shoel, but a borrower, the nosei sachar, the socher, and someone who is a shomer sachar, someone who's getting paid to watch it,
right?
Or a socher, which is a renter,
right?
That there isn't. I will find the place. You're not able to putter them. The tanas ganav from a tanas of the theft, being them a thief. Ain behem kefil. There's no kefil. The Darwin said. The comma, like in any case, lo im amar. Not if you say the shomer sinan, the shomer chinam, an unpaid watchman, shekain mishalein, because they do have to pay mishalmi tashalmi kefil. They have to pay the kefil on that. The omar that we say, kishomer sacha, like a shomer sacha is a paid watchman.
Right. So just to recap over here, what Rashi has said is that this person, he himself borrowed the animal, and he borrowed it already before Shabbos. And he sheks it on Shabbos. So bottom line, Rashi says he's pater meaning minakol, and he means over here all the monetary consequences. He's pater from any monetary liabilities. He's not getting into the din misa over here. That's obvious that he's going to be chayav misa if he did a malach on Shabbos. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the payment of Karen. We're talking about the payment of Kefil. We're talking about the payment of Dalad Vehei. He's putter on all of those monetary liabilities. And then Rashi's explaining why. Because this is going according to, this view is, we're saying, according to Rav Papa. Rav Papa has a machlokes with Rava over here. That's why the Gemora is talking about this, about when the Rashi says is he chayav for the shechita from the time of it goes back to the time that he borrowed the animal. That's what the Rava says, but Rav Papa disagrees. Lo amrinan mishas sheila machayav le. akarna. He's not going to be chayiv for the Karen, the principal payment, because according to Rav Papa, we don't say that the liability for violating the borrowership goes back to the time of the beginning of the borrowership, and become a brishuse, and therefore at that point it already the animal is established in his rishus as being the animal that he has got to guard already from the beginning of the borrowership, afilu l'malach hamavos, even against the malach hamavos, meaning if the animal would die, the malach hamavos would take him away. Here we're talking about a case that the person took him away by shechting him, but Rav Papa says that no, the liability for the tficha only comes at the time that he actually shechted the animal. Doesn't go back to the time that he originally borrowed the animal, and because of that, it's regarded as that the Isser Shabbos and the liability for the Geneva come ke'echad on Shabbos. And like Phil said, Rashi says that the principle of Kimle b'derabim mine will now exempt him of this payment of Karen. And then Rashi goes on to explain why he's patur on the other things. The reason why he's patur on kefil is not anything to do with Rava or Rav Papa. That's because he is a shoel, and a shoel never pays kefil. Why? Because the only way you can pay kefil, says Rashi, is if you steal it from the owner's house yourself. That's the ganav. That's the person that pays kefil. Or there's one other case where you are a shomer chinam, an unpaid watchman, because he's the only one of the four watchmen that could be exempt himself with a taina that when the guy comes and says, "Give me back my thing that belongs to me," and you say, "Oh, but it was stolen." So the shomer chinam, he's the only one that exempts himself with a claim like that. The other guys, the other three, the shoel, he can't exempt himself with a claim like that. So therefore, the judge will say, "Oh, that's what happened. So you have to pay Karen." There's no exemption. And so if he's going to they're going to find that the animal was actually in his backyard, so then he is going to be the one that's going to pay kefil, this unpaid watchman. But the other ones, we don't even get to that point. They just got, if that's what happened, then they just got to pay for the animal that they were responsible to watch, and that's the end of it. And on the Daled Vehei, we didn't get to that yet. Now he's going to talk about Daled Vehei. Why is it that this shoel is going to be patur on Daled Vehei? He shechted the animal. Did he steal it? So that's what we're going to say. We'll see. In order to be chai Daled Vehei, you got to steal it and shecht it. Okay, so the next part of the Rashi will split up between Phil and Lou. So Lou, you want to start the Rashi and then Phil will finish it up.
I'm not sure I'm up to reading now.
Okay. Right, of course. Okay, so Phil, you feel like continuing, or you?
Okay.
I can read it also if you want. Whatever you want.
I'll read and you can correct if I get stuck on words. It's okay.
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 And here comes Robert Lefkowitz.
Hooray for Robert.
Our man in Orlando. Okay. Nice to have you with us, Roberts.
Welcome.
Yeah, we have just hot weather here as you have over there.
Okay, good to see you. That hand is looking absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we gotta hand it to you, Robert.
Wow. Well, we have to hand it to him, yeah. Okay. You like that one? Very good.
Should I start this now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, we're up to where there's no heading. It just, there were two dots and it continues. She'im ein geneva, because if there's no theft involved, ein tvicha. You can't have any slaughtering. It has to go together. You can't have no theft, then there can't be a slaughtering penalty without the theft. The ein mechira, and there can't be any sale. That also, if you don't steal it, there's no sale because it's either selling or slaughtering. Lo garam le, it's not causeless.
Lo Garcinen lay.
And we don't learn from that. But anan shemin, and we hear kan tuvo. I guess that's talking about here, and also in Masechta Ketubos, there's laws there. The chain pireish law, and so it is explained to us, Rabbeinu or rabbis, she'im ein geneva. If there's no theft, after shepator, that he's pator mina keren, that he would be, after he's pater from the principle, mishum the kamle de rabbanimine, because of the principle that you get the more strict of the penalties, ein tvicha kanas nami. There can't be a slaughtering, a fine on the slaughtering. Also, lo mishalem, lo nami lo, he also doesn't pay. But afal gav, even though the chiddush, even though there is a chiddush who the ein mita patarim, and his death doesn't pater him. Hacha leka karen, there is no principle to pay on this. So he's pater tashlumi arba v'chamesh. So therefore, he's also pater for paying the 4 and the 5. Or Mar Rachman, the Pasuk says, "V'lo tashlumi gimel v'daled," and there's no such thing as you paying 3 or 4, because it's 4 or 5, but you have to include the parent in it. So there is no payment. There's no payment to 3 and 4. So without the Karen, you can't pay 3 or 4. You can't. So there is no chi middle lace, and also the lace, and there isn't mihacha from here. Kana, there's no principle. Havi gimel, because there would be 3. So you have to end up only having to pay 3 from the flock, the dalid, the bachar, and 4 wasn't any. There was I didn't have anything on my mind, lahavim, to explain. Gotta get down to the next line. Et Moshel, the explanation, shaitan death, reason for this reason. Ein srich, you don't need lakan here, sheheri ein kanas, to show that there's no fine on a barwa. Hatovo, a barwa, hatova.
Shetam ze ein sorech lakan. Shari ein knas b'shoel hatoveach.
Hatoveach, it's the barwa who slaughters it. We say even Karab Papa, even if we were going to Karab Papa, this wouldn't work. The Ad Hashta until now, it's standing. The Rishuta, it's in his Rishut. The Rishut Damara, the prop in the prop of the Rishut, his domain, the domain of the Mara, of the one who owns it. Even Haki here, Gazlan, a thief, Na'aseh is made on him. Below Ganav. So that's two words. It's the difference between a Gazlan and a Ganav. A Gazlan is like an armed robber, as opposed to a Ganav, who was just a thief who stole it. She'ain din Ganav, because there's no thief of being a robber. Ella Rabba, the Toen Kanaskana. Only if you made a claim that he was a thief. Vahu, and he was a shomer. He was a unpaid watchman. The rest, and it's explained, and we darshan this version, the ketuvos. We have in ketuvos. Are seen in lay, we go seen in there. The milta in these words.
Ilsa de Rabba. Rabba, yeah.
The Amor that says chasam there, if you steal it and you sheft it on Shabbos, you're pata. You'll be pata. She'im ein geneva, because if there's no theft, chasam there, beganav hatzmo, that he stole it himself. Kai, we're going on. The leka, the hiftareya miknas. We don't put to him from a fine. Ella only
because of that reason.
High timer, this reason.
Yeah.
About the Papa Leka, there isn't Linegarsa to make this version law. Hasam there. Below he not here either. The ID we're dealing the Milsa de Rav Papa. We're dealing with the case of Rav Papa. Itmar that says Chasam there Gabe Milta de Rabba, according to words of Rabba. Are these we're making our version. Not also Agav Shetafa
Agav Shatfa.
The Rav Papa, Shatfa. What is Shatfa is like, Stipa is not that type thing. That's not Shatfa, it's Shatafa. It's good according to Rav Papa.
No, Agav Shatfa. You could look it up in your if you have your Talmudic dictionary. That would be a good word to look it up. But this, I believe, comes from the word like Shatfa Nahar, where the river overflowed. In other words, this is the flow. This is the flow of the Gemora was like this, and therefore the Gemora said that, even though it's not really, the words are not really 100% apropos over here. But it's based upon the Shatfa of Rav Papa.
Okay, according to the flow of words of Rav Papa, yes, flow. The Shefer is like a flooding type thing; it flows over.
Yeah.
The Chashuva and
Shuvas Rav, hi, Gon, Messiah.
The Shuva, the answer of Rav Haigon. Go, Messiah helps him.
Messiah Lee, yeah, helps me. Yeah. Okay, so this Rashi is one big cheshbon over here to unpack the cheshbon that Rashi is making over here in this Gemara. Basically, the vort is like this, without getting into an arichas over here, but try to just put it very simply. Rashi is dealing with the facts that there is a girsa out there that goes on our Gemora that says "Ein geneva be'ein tvicha ein mechira." If there's not a case, if there's no case of geneva over here, and there's no case of so then there won't be any fallout. Oh, Robert fell out. Now he's asking to come in again. No, we see you, Robert. Now we got double. Okay. Will the real Robert Lefkowitz please give us a thumbs up? Okay. There he is. That's the real Robert. Yay. Okay. Okay. So the thing is like this. In other words, according to that girsa that some say goes on our Gemora here in Bava Kama, why is the reason that there's not going to be the penalty of Dalet V'Hei? Because it's got to do with Shabbos and it's got to do with Kimle B'Derabamine and all of that. And Rashi says, no, that's where Rashi starts and he says, Lo hayli lev lahavin. Rashi in his humility says, I don't have a heart to be able to understand that why it would be that girsa is appropriate in our Gemora. Because according to Rashi, if you do a simple cheshbon over here and figure out what's going on in this Gemora, ein sarik lakan. There's no need for that over here. Sharei ein knas b'shoel hatoveach. That's the whole story. The beginning and the end and everything in between. There's no such a thing as a shoel, a borrower, who borrows the animal and he ends up shechting it improperly, albeit, but he's not going to pay a knas. That's all there is. It's got nothing to do with Shabbos. Why? Because simply put, he was not a ganav. He was a shoel. And a shoel does never pay. He never pays kefil, and if he never pays kefil, he's not going to pay for the tvicha, for the penalty either. But it all starts with the fact that this person, as a shoel, he doesn't pay a knas when he shechs the animal. That's the basic story over here. And then Rashi points out, even according to Rav Papa, that the ad hashta kam b'rishusa demara, that this animal has until it doesn't stand in the rishus of the shoel. It's always regarded as being in the rishus of the original owner until the time of the shechita. Afilu hachi, nevertheless, we can say that he's nothing more than a gazlan, and he's not. Because Rashi says the whole story is that he cannot be a ganav, because the only one that can be a ganav is somebody that is a ganav atzmo, meaning that he stole the thing. He stole the thing itself, not that he himself stole it. He stole that thing, opposed to being given it into his hand with permission by the owner of it, and said, "Will you please watch this for me, or you want to borrow it here? So here it is. I'm giving it to you." He was never a ganav from the word go, and therefore, since he was never a ganav from the word go, there's no way that no matter what he does to it, even if he's toveach it, that he's going to have to pay any penalty for that. He'll just have to pay Karen in a normal scenario. But over here, since he did it on Shabbos, he's not going to pay for the Karen. Period. That's all. That's the whole story. Okay. Okay, so that's why Rashi was not his usual concise self, because he felt the need to show you why he rejects the girsa of getting into the whole thing with if there's not going to be a liability for the Geneva, so there's not going to be any liability for the Tficha and and Shabbos and 3 and 4 and 4 and 5 and all of that. That's not got nothing to do with anything, says Rashi. Okay. Okay. And now we can go weiter in the Gemora. And we are up to Tanu Rabbonin v'Heishif es ha'gzeila asher gozal. Ma Talmud loymar. And this can be found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines from the bottom of the page, and it's a tough resh. The last letters in that line.
You're at 112A4 on the left paragraph, on the left to start. We learned.
Very good. Now that everybody has the place, we'll call upon Roy to continue the reading.
Okay. Where are we? No, I'm not going to find it.
One 112A4, left paragraph.
Yeah, Tanu Rabbanim, I've got it here. Okay, the Rabbanim, rabbis taught in a brisa, v'hashev is hagazera asher gazel. The Torah states, and he shall return the robbed article that he robbed. Asher gazel. Sorry. Ma Talmud. What does the verse mean to teach that when it states that he robbed? The Chazir Shogezo. It means that he shall return the stolen article as it was when he robbed it. This implies that if it is no longer extant, he is not liable. Machon Amaro. Based on this, the sages said, it goes over.
1 second, who's not liable if it's no longer extant? The Goslin himself will always be liable. Read the words weiter in the Brisa. Mikam Amru. From here, the Chazal darshan
means that he. What does the verse mean to teach when it states that he robbed? It means that he shall return the stolen article when he robbed it. This implies that if it is no longer extant, he is not liable. But Machon Amru, based on this, the sages said, "Hagozel v'machil es banov." If one robs it and feeds it to his children, potorin milashala, they are not liable to pay the owner for it. The children, if they eat it. Aniach lifnahim, if he left his stolen article before them intact as an inheritance, Bain Gazulim and Katanim. Whether they are adults or minors, they are liable to return it. Mashum Mumachos Amaru. In the name of Smuchos, they said, Gadolin Chayevon If the heirs are actual are adults, they are liable to return the intact article. Katanim, Baturin, if they are minors, they are not liable to return it.
Okay, good. Let's take a look at Rashi.
It's too late. We'll have to tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All the best.
Yeah, be out.
Have a great day. And keep cool.
Thank you.
How's the weather there in Orlando, Florida, Robert?
Rooted.
It's great. Yay.
Okay. Bye.
And it's even better if you have air conditioning, right?
Right.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch
Okay.
Hashem. Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
All the best. Okay. So we will adjourn today. Bez Hashem. We'll be back tomorrow for more. And in the meantime, everybody have a cool day. Bezrat Hashem. Stay cool.
All right.
Yesterday afternoon in my kollel, there was no electricity. So now not only did we, goes without saying that we didn't have any air conditioning, we also didn't have any lights. So how did we learn? So that's Torah Shabbat Peh. That's the oral law, right? Hooray for the oral law. Okay, Bezos Hashem. Hopefully we'll have some light today. And some air conditioning wouldn't hurt either. But otherwise, we'll be happy to come and happy to learn. All the best.
Okay.
Bye, Ellen. Bye, Lou.
Okay.
Bye, Rabbi. Thank you.